1887 Highland Sesquicentennial Waltz, composed by Don Scheimer and recorded by the Don Scheimer Band. Dennis Ammon on organ, Randy Ammon on trumpet, Leonard Schreiber on banjo, and Don Scheimer on drums.
In closing, I've got it, you get it. Sesqui Fever. Thank you.
Thank you. Very well done. Now is when we go into the ribbon cutting. And the ribbon is going to be cut tonight by a lady who put a lot of time into what we're standing around and admiring tonight, the mayor's, the shooter's walk. Judy, you want to come forward to the middle here, to the middle of the ribbon, along with Mayor Dr. Franz Joseph Bozart of Searcy, and our own mayor, Clarence Bud Payne. And there are the rest of you, Ray Brighetzi, president of the Helvetia Sharpshooters, Queen Lauren Campbell, Rich Knable, president of Chamber of Commerce, Jerry Staley, another supervisor of the construction of this and put many, many hours in the building of the Shooter's Walk. Schweitzer Cunningham, Dorothy Stoker Barnard. Elvin Fainer, old friend. Judy, whenever you're ready. Okay, we're open. Wonderful. That opens the Shooter's Walk and the Mayor's Walk and almost the Sesquicentennial. We will, as soon as one more surprise for you. Barney, are you ready? Fire that cannon.
Excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry.
You see it, Joe?
Watch it die.
It's a slow-burning wick, folks. I hope his powder is dry. We're going to make it, though.
I can't stand the rest
Any moment.
No.
Isn't it going to work? That was a pretty exciting thing. But you know, that was only 1 pound of black powder and about a pound of flour just for effect. So now we'll go down to the arena for the opening ceremony. See you down there.
Not again.
Thank you, and thank you, Bill. We will now go into the playing of the national anthems. First of all, the Swiss national anthem tonight will be given by Reverend Craig Weber, pastor of the First Baptist Church here in Highland, Illinois. Pastor.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we have gathered as citizens and friends of Highland for the beginning of a time of celebration and remembering. Celebrating the richness of life you have given to the citizens of Highland for over 150 years. Remembering your faithfulness, dear Lord, and the hard work of the Highlanders down through the years. May all who come and are involved in the celebration be kept safe. Be with us now as you have in the past and grant us a sense of joy. And a bit of a postscript, Lord, please, even as a Baptist who appreciates water, withhold the rain.
Thank you. I'll say amen to that. Okay. I'm sure they're going to be greeted again and many times before our Sesquicentennial is over. But I would like for the Circeans who arrived today at 3 o'clock to stand, and any other of you Swiss folk who are in the audience to stand so we can see you and give you a round of applause. Would you please do that? Thank you. We're so happy you're here. Microphone is yours.
Dear Mayor, dear directors and chairmen, dear people of Highland, grüezi miteinander, liebe Highlanderinnen und Highlander, liebe Sourcerinnen und Sourcer. That's a Swiss-German grüezi, what I have to done. Highland and Source are two little towns in the United States and Switzerland. Both have about 7,000 inhabitants, are proud of their heritage, but prouder still of their countries and results. About 40 persons of Source are glad to stay some days in Highland and to enjoy your hospitality and your Sesquicentennial celebration. Our English is like a kindergarten language, but we want to learn, and when you speak slowly, we can understand you. The city of Sursee and all his inhabitants congratulate the town of Highland, Major Bert Payne, and all directors and chairmen of the Sesquicentennial Association. We are in joy to celebrate with you, to get to know you all, and to begin a long friendship between our towns. And now in German, wir danken euch, dass wir auf Highland kommen. Wir haben Freude. Wir haben zwar nicht so Freude, dass wir euch den Regen gebracht haben. Der Regen ist der Rain. That is a pity for you and for us. Aber wir glauben, dass wir ein schönes Fest haben und ich freue mich, 3 bis 4 Tage mit ihnen dürfen zu trinken. Drink beer. Thank you.
We definitely understood the last part. I also get to introduce our mayor. And 50 years from now, at the Highland Bicentennial, our children, and other people, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, will be showing off our city's work doing today. And they will be proud of its, the Shooter's Walk, and our uniquely beautiful City Hall. Now, for the citizens of Sursee, have your host explain all the fun we had for that one. But they will be proud of its Swiss motif and reminisce. These things were built and dedicated during the Sesquicentennial year. We found ourselves doing the same thing this year regarding our stately fountain that was dedicated during the centennial. We are certainly happy that Mayor Stoker and the City Council had the foresight and the courage to construct the fountain in 1937. And I dare say our descendants will be just as grateful. Mayor Payne and the City Council have the same degree of foresight and courage to build such a beautiful structure as our new City Hall. But very seldom is anything of consequences accomplished without controversy. Now, we may have quarreled with his method and questioned it, but his persistence and ingenuity cannot and will not be denied. I also defy anyone to question his integrity, dedication, devotion to the city. He loves the city. Ladies and gentlemen, please accord the proper respect for someone of his stature and office, our Highland Mayor, Clarence Bud Payne.
First of all, I'd like to thank all the mayors past that are here tonight for their belief in the city of Highland and the belief in the future. But tonight in Highland, I think it's noted that we have parties. And when they're not having parties, we're planning for parties. We've been planning for this one for 4 years. One reason is it took Biddy 4 years to learn how to speak. The momentum has been growing each year. We are now at a fever pitch. I'm sure this will be the biggest and best. Therefore, without further ado, I officially declare the Highland Sesquicentennial open and begun. Enjoy. Thank you.
Ron Stevens convinced me that I should write a resolution to he and to Frank Watson so they could take it to their respective houses in Springfield and have a resolution passed through the Illinois State Legislature. Well, they have done exactly that. So I think I'm going to let Lisa go first, though. You have a resolution for me or not, Lisa? She doesn't? Or is it together? Why don't the both of you come up here and present it too? Biddy and Ronnie, you want to come up and accept this also? This other gentleman is Ron Stevens.
Thank you. I noticed as we're here, the Pastor Weber is taking advantage of the weather. I don't know if you noticed, but after his prayer, it stopped raining. And so I patted him on the back and I said, that's a hell of a prayer. And he looked at me and said, well, he's going to take advantage of the weather and use the water. He's baptized 3 of us back here while you weren't watching. Frank Watson could not be with us tonight, so he did us the favor of sending Lisa Woodward. Lisa is here. She has a resolution from the Senate. I have a resolution from the House. We were comparing notes on the way as we walked in, watching the storm clouds approach. The resolution is the exact same wording. So it shows you how close Frank and I work together. Without further ado, I'd like to read this resolution, if you don't mind. House Resolution 547, offered by Representative Stevens and Senator Watson. Whereas the members of this body are pleased to recognize the Sesquicentennial of the City of Highland, and whereas the City of Highland was settled by Swiss immigrants in 1830, and it was declared a village in August of 1837 by the Illinois State Legislature, which also gave the village its name, Highland, or the Scottish Highlands. And whereas incorporated as a city in 1884, the City of Highland today has a population of over 7,000 in its 3.2 square mile area. And whereas the leading manufacturing industries and products in Highland include electrical transformers, pipe organs, corrugated boxes, cellophane conversion, tools and screws, checks, silk screen printing, garments, animal feed supplements, and steel fabrication, and it goes on and on. And since the weather continues, what I'd like to do, before I ruin this and the other resolutions, which we're going to present to the city fathers and of course to the trustees of the Sesquicentennial, we just wanted in some small way to let Illinois recognize what a fine city Highland is. And I tell people wherever I go that Highland is the epitome of living in southwestern Illinois. It's a town in my district that I am so proud of. And it's not only a town that Illinois ought to be proud of, but I think it's a town that really represents what the United States of America stands for. It's a town with values. It's a town that knows that people need to work to get ahead. It's a town that you are proud of, and rightfully so. And you have a heritage here similar to the entire, it's kind of like a microcosm of the American heritage. We are very proud of the family life, the people in Highland, the churches, and we're very proud to welcome the guests from Switzerland here. Illinois salutes you, the city of Highland, your ancestors, and the future generations to come. Thank you very much.
I'd like to apologize on behalf of Senator Watson that he was not able to be here. He deeply regrets that, but he had a commitment with his family. We would just like to congratulate the City of Highland on 150 years, 150 successful years. Thank you.
Let me also read to you a letter from the President of the United States. As long as we're reading things, I've had it framed, beautifully framed by Lori's here in Highland. It has the pin, the logo, from the White House, Washington, July 27, 1987. To the citizens of Highland, Illinois, I am pleased to send warm greetings for the 150th anniversary of Highland. Each city and town of our great country is unique, but all are bound together in the love of these United States. We are fortunate to live in a nation of strong and proud communities where everyone has a chance for success and the blessings of liberty and the freedom can be enjoyed by all, regardless of background. As you commemorate this anniversary, you have a splendid opportunity to renew your commitment to preserve the spirit which has forged America into a land of wonder. I am proud to join you in making such a commitment in this historic occasion for the people of Highland. With hearty congratulations and best wishes for continued milestones, Ronald Reagan.
And I must introduce, you've met some of them, my officers, Vice President Jim Rayburger, but I do want my directors to stand, and I'll call you off, and please stand. And hold your applause till everybody's up. Bonnie McGinley was my VP. Bob Stilla was my secretary. Please stand. Benton Snyder, who I think is down counting money. Russ Benton, you out there anywhere? No, he's down counting money. Vice President Jim Rayburger. Jerry Staley. I know Jerry is over there. Bob Helligy. There's Bob. Peggy Bellum. I don't know if she's there. She may be trying to figure out how to drain the track. Annie Huntstuffer. Annie, you up there's Annie. Ralph Cordy. Back here. Ralph, sorry. Linda Kleinhofer. Easy, easy. Russ Huffman. Pat Johannes. Art Schutz. There you are. He's trying to figure out how to drain everything. Jerry Jetman. Darwin Weiss. Steve Holt. Judy Light. Oh, you back. Jim Luber. We were worried about him about a couple of weeks ago. Good to see him here. Omer Paz. Our guy Michael. He's probably out getting ready for you. Al Winter. Elaine Iberg. Kathy Belangi. Jay Belangi. Olin Stratton. Don Seibert. There he is. Hayden Young. Mike DeSelm. George Gibbons. Ray Bergezzi. Bob Freeman. Bob, you up there? There's Bob. These people have really, really worked hard. And please give them a hand. That's all. I can't think of much else except my family, the big old stand. Thank you all for coming. Let's go celebrate. It is Cersei night. Cersei night up in the beer hall. Please come up and join them, say hello, and maybe drink a beer with them. See you later.
And you can have these glasses from gifts from Sursee. And this is a little thank you to our host family and to the directory and the mayor of Highland. And now, good appetite and cheerio to the Swiss beer.
The beer and glasses is basically for the host families and for the councilmen and our citizens from Susi. They'll be the ones that will be able to come up and get the glasses and the beer. The host family, the councilmen, the people from Susi here, the directors of the Sesquicentennial, this is all set up for them and thanking them. There just wasn't enough to give everybody one. They would sure love to.
Familie so eins heimgeben, weißt du?
Or good evening. We're here in the Highland Beer Garden with the Mayor of Sesquicentennial. Mayor, tell me your name.
My name is Francis Bossart.
What is this?
And this is a true Lucerne or Surseer beer. And this beer is a little thank you to all the families of our group.
And this, my good man, is the man that lined it all up, which we are deeply, deeply grateful for. Dieter, how are you?
Thank you, fine. I really enjoy it to be here.
Is it?
Drink with you the Swiss beer. I like the American beer too, but Swiss beer is still good.
Good, good.
Good afternoon and welcome to the dedication of the Shooters Walk in Lindendale Park. To start the festivities, I'd like to introduce the president of the Sesquicentennial Association, Biddy Essen Price.
Hold up your mic, Bid. They can hear it. Excuse me, it's heck when you get old. It really is. You know, can you hear in the back? Not at all? Yeah, move forward. I think this is just for that, isn't it? This won't help you all back there. It's not a PA system. I'm going to yell. Walt, can you hear me back there? Bear? Okay. On behalf of the directors, officers, and members of the Highland Sesquicentennial Association, we wish to welcome you to Highland and the dedication of the Shooters Walk. This was the fountain in the year of the centennial of 1937, a gift to the association and the Helvetia sharpshooters to the city of Highland. But it is impossible to express our gratitude to Judy Lloyd, the designer, and Jerry Staley, the man who spearheaded the building of this and completion of this project, and the Helvetia sharpshooters. If it wouldn't have been for their money, none of this would have been there. So we appreciate all of them. Jerry and his corps of volunteer laborers have created this magnificent walk for all the citizens of Highland and all the visitors to admire and show the pride in our community. So on behalf of our association's directors, officers, and members, we wish to thank Judy, Jerry, and all the volunteer laborers for the super job well done. As a couple guys I do want to thank personally, besides these people, that's Jim Brown back there, who I know put in a heck of a lot of time on this, and Jerry Zobrist, wherever Jerry's at. Jerry's out here about every night picking flowers too. I would like to say one thing, which is a little deviation from this. I've probably known Jerry Staley for about 30 plus years. We go back a long way. We were kids together.
I was 12 years old.
Yeah, I was 12, right. And Jerry, whatever task you give him, will do it extremely well. And unfortunately, we had something ordered for Jerry that has not gotten here. But before the Sesquicentennial starts, we have a plaque, a brass plaque, which will go on this, that says the Shooters Walk, project designer, Judy Light, project chairman, Jerry Staley. We felt that was only fitting for all the time and effort that they put in. They really did a heck of a job. I would like to introduce some dignitaries before I turn this back. I seen our Queen. Lauren, where are you at? It's Queen Lauren Campbell over there. And some of the girls in her court. Tanis, Kathy, Amy. I see all the girls over there.
And the other companies and organizations involved, thanks again to all the workers. You made it happen.
Now, on behalf of the Sesquicentennial Association, I'd like to ask Jerry Staley to step down next to the planning over here, and we're going to officially dedicate the Mayor's Walk, Shooter's Walk, and what better than a little champagne to help flow better as we enter. Mayor Payne for the City of Highland, and for the sharpshooters, Ray Bergetzi. Gentlemen, if you want to step over here. And have at it.
Right over here.
Right in front of the...
We don't want to break the sidewalk.
Right where Jerry's at's fine. Good job.
One more at a little bit different angle. Make you look in the sun more. I'm not getting enough of the gun. I want to park the gun.
Sit on top of it. That's what the guy has to do.
You go behind the wheel there, and Amy, go around behind the wheel on the other side there. No, this first one. I don't care. That's okay. Yeah, that's neat. Let me get one more. Okay. That ought to do it. Thank you.
No, just rocks. I just got the rocks.
Okay.
We got hors d'oeuvres.
I'm not sure it's appropriate for the children.
They want to go out to eat.
Where are you going, St. Rose?
That's an idea.
No, it's not.
I should.
Well, right now we're building the fire, getting up steam.
And then what will they do after that?
Well, we're going to hook it on to this separator that they're pulling in here right now and going to thrash wheat.
Okay, and then I guess everything will just, all we have to do is watch and it'll show us
Watch and
what's
you'll see
going
what
on.
happens. There's about a 100-foot long belt on the separator, and they will put it on this big pulley here, spin the separator over, and they'll throw bundles into the separator.
And who owns the equipment here?
Well, there's the 3 owners of this engine right here. Oh, here they are. Over here.
Oh, over on, that's the owners of this engine. And then who owns the thrashing machine?
The separator belonged to Mr. Waiter.
Mr. Waiter?
Mr. Waiter from Highland here.
You know what, Jim? Afterwards, we'll have somebody narrate what's going on.
Water running.
You got the sound on now? Boy, I know, they got that baby pumping. That baby's smoking, all right. He's coming off. shed today, and we're thrashing wheat. And I would like for you to maybe tell me your name and tell me a little information about what's going on here.
All right, my name is Joe Graziana. I'm from Wood River, Illinois, and I'm one of the group with Norbert Horine and Roland Hart, and we restored Wader's engine to use here today, and with the boiler certificate wasn't good, so we couldn't use it. So we used our engine today, brought it up here, and we're thrashing with a 22-horse Keck Gunman built in 1925. And the separator is Wader's separator, and it is a Nichols and Shepard known as the Red River Special.
I see. Just what is the process exactly?
Well, this is the process that the combine took over. The wheat was cut in the field with a binder, put in shocks, and then dried and then thrashed. You know, like,
so they dry it a couple of weeks in advance.
Right.
Okay.
Where the combine goes in and cuts it and thrashes it all at one time. This was done at that time.
I see.
Yes.
Okay, and then does this thing just come to the farm itself?
Yeah,
then?
it went from farm to farm. Farm to farm. You was on a thrashing ring. Excuse me. And it went from farm to farm, and you had your turn in the ring to be thrashed. And then when they got done with that, sometimes they'd go back and thrash oats, and then they'd go back and they'd thrash clover seed.
How many men did they usually have for an operation?
Oh, it could be
like
20 to 30 men.
Oh, really?
Yes,
That many?
and that's why more chickens lost their heads at thrashing time, because they had to feed the crew. And we're going to have lunch here. They're going to bring lunch out just like they did at noon. We're going to have lunch right here. We're washed with Lysol.
Okay, and I guess that's pretty much it. And then afterwards, the straw that they have, then they just take they bale that, and then they take the wheat to the
barn.
mill.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's interesting. Okay. I want you to know that's light soap. Homemade soap. It's homemade light soap. Homemade soap.
You work a little and you quit. We gotta wash up the line. Go. Work up. We gotta wash the light soap.
That's what I'm. Oops, excuse me. Wash up. Homemade soap.
Get on.
Oh, he took it now. Oh, boy. He got that in the right way, see? He's drilling.
Whoa! We used to do it like this.
Yeah, you used to do it like that. You have no war track.
No. Ornament, yard ornament. Over here, we get you dirty. Some little ladies got the same kind of camera. On a bumblebee now.
Recuperate after all that beer last night. No. This is my nephew, this Nate Fisher from Switzerland. Oh. Right. Brian. Yeah. Nice meeting you. He's the president of the station where Saudi Arabia. Yeah. Out in the desert.
very happy to see such a large crowd at our first meeting, and thank you all for coming. Mayor Bossart and members of the Searcy City Council, Mayor Payne and members of the Highland City Council, special guests, and friends of Highland, welcome. When that small group of people emigrated from Switzerland in 1830, little did they realize what future was in store for their little settlement in the wilderness. Now, 150 years after the founding of their small village, we have grown beyond their greatest of dreams, and this is good. We are about to witness an historic and momentous occasion. Two city councils, ordinarily they're thousands of miles apart, but now they are next to each other in this room to renew and affirm a new affiliation of friendship and culture between the two cities. Also, I would like to remind you that we are participating in the very first City Council meeting in our beautiful new building. Let us always be mindful of the past as our inspiration, but keep our eyes on the future as our goal. Now I would like to introduce the Searcy City Council, our guests today. Dr. Franz Joseph Bossart, Mayor of Searcy. Erwin Gabriel, he is our city clerk. Franz Elminger, the vice president. Willy Flugschap, councilman. And Heinrich Kaufmann, councilman. I believe you all know the other councilmen, but for the benefit of our special guests, we will introduce them too. Of course, we have Mayor Payne. Emily Messerly is our city clerk. Alan Roots, councilman. Lester Hoog, councilman. And Stephen Moore, councilman. Maurice Barth, the other councilman from Highland, was unable to be with us this morning. Okay.
Owen Stratton. Owen Stratton, would you come forward?
As ambassador, along with President of the Sesquicentennial, Larry Essen Price, we bring you greetings from the Sesquicentennial Board of Directors. We welcome all of you. We think this is a momentous occasion. A special welcome to Mayor Bossart and City Council, and also to the large number of Swiss friends staying in Highland homes in the area. We also welcome all the friends in Highland. As the name implies, Sister City denotes cooperation, friendship, and a large degree of communication between the two cities. I would urge all of you who have an official capacity to enlist the support of the schools in your city. They can be very helpful. At this time, we would like to convey a little gift of friendship
It's very simple, but it comes from the heart, and that is a handshake to the mayor from myself and from Larry Essenprice, and we thank you very much.
Thank you.
We also would like to shake the hands of Bud Payne and congratulate him and the City Council for providing not only the cooperation for the Sesquicentennial, but also for providing this very beautiful building. Thank you very much.
If there's no other business to come before the joint councils, we will entertain a motion to adjourn. Right after the adjournment of this meeting, there will be a flag raising ceremony outside, subject to weather conditions. Okay. So, okay. Is there a second to the adjournment? Second. The motion has been made to adjourn and seconded. Are there any questions? No questions? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Against? Motion carried. Meeting is adjourned.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, just a couple of other remarks. I would like to remind you that it is now 5 minutes to 6 p.m. in Searcy. And right at this very moment, the Highland city flag, the one over there, is flying from the Rathaus in Searcy. And now we want the Searcy city flag flying from our city hall as well. And so that's why, to conclude this meeting, Mayor Boshart and Mayor Payne are going to raise the two city flags outside. Our plan A, as Bob would call it, calls for everyone to go outside. You may, if you wish, if you feel you'd like to stay in. The last time I looked out the window, it wasn't raining, and it won't take long to put the flag up. And then come back in for refreshments and a tour of the building. For the benefit of the photographers present, I have asked both city councils to come back and be seated so we can get an official photograph. And now, in conclusion, I would also like to say, as I said in the beginning, wasn't this a historic and monumental meeting of two city councils thousands of miles apart? Where else in America have you seen such an event? Thank you very much.
We'll go on outside then.
Make it.
Excuse me.
Not be familiar with Bob Hardy's face. He has one of those unique faces for radio. But tonight you'll get a chance to see him, and he'll be mingling among the crowd and talking to everybody. So right now I'd like to ask them to come up on the stage, Mr. and Mrs. Bob Hardy.
Thank you very, very much. Are you all having a good time? Are you? Well, first of all, Rhea and I want to say thank you very, very much for dedicating a night to us. We are really appreciative of that. And sometimes I think you give us far too much credit in our promotion of Metro East and Highland and Grand Fork and Marine and Dex Prairie. But the fact of the matter is, we kind of love it out here, and it's hard to believe we've been here 10 years already, and you've accepted us so much, and for that we are most grateful. And I know we both appreciate it, and I know Rhea loves it because she loves the shopping in Highland.
Well, I sure do. I never go to St. Clair Square anymore.
How about that, huh? Not too bad an idea. Listen, I want you to know something. Bill Wilkerson, who is my morning partner, is not here with us tonight because he's on an airplane with the football Cardinals. They're going to Cleveland, and Bill's got to broadcast the game tomorrow. However, I was able to bring along a couple of my cohorts, people whom you know. And I would like to introduce them to you right now, if I may. First of all, and you hear all these people on KMOX in the Total Information Hour. First of all, our morning news editor, and she writes all the news that you hear us read, Margie Manning. Margie, please stand up. Margie Manning. Okay, you better wave, Marge, because I think they think you're the guy who's taking orders. Now, the guy who walks into the radio station ahead of Marge and just sort of keeps everything cooking until she gets there is the fellow who works the all night, takes care of the newscasts from midnight on until 5:30, and you hear him on with me in the morning too, and that's Eric Thomas. Eric, stand up, please. Now, we have a lot of fun on the morning show telling you about Rudy Ruzicka. And we call him our little pear-shaped buddy, and we tell you about his eating habits, and I want you to know that none of that is a lie. Rudy and his wife Ann got here about 6 o'clock, which is an hour ago. Ann has eaten 1 bratwurst and 1 chicken wing. Rudy has eaten 3 halves of chickens, 2 bratwursts, 4 toasted raviolis. Wait a minute, I got an emergency call here. Oh, hold on a minute. Okay, we got an emergency crew out there. Rudy, you may wind up there if you eat any more of that damn chicken. Anyway, in addition to all of that, he's eaten 6 of those toasted raviolis, and I want you to meet my little pear-shaped buddy who makes sure all the switches and all the knobs are working right. And when things screw up in the morning, it's his fault. Ladies and gentlemen, Rudy Ruzicka. Rudy, come on out here. Just stand right there. Just stand. I want you. There you are. There you are. And Ann is his wife, and he brought her along to keep him straight tonight. Annie Ruzicka right here. Now, I really hate to tell you this because things are going to be changing over there. Rudy has reached retirement age, and he's going to be leaving us sometime before this year is over. When he does, I want you all to send black roses, black balloons, everything you can, because it ain't going to quite be the same. Now, another one of my partners, as I mentioned, is Bill. He's unable to be with us tonight. But there's another one here tonight, and I'd like to introduce a mother for you first. Marty, would you stand up? Just stand up. Okay, it's Marty Weiss. And I have said all along that when her daughter gets too far out of line, I'm going to put Marty in the slot, and that's going to just work out fine. And I'm glad you came. You came all the way from Chesterfield, and Rudy came all the way from North St. Louis, and Marge came from North St. Louis, and good Lord, we got you coming. And we appreciate your being here. Thanks, Marty. And ladies and gentlemen, the gal that you always say we just beat up too much on. And I would agree with you for perhaps the first 2 days. After that, she got streetwise, and she puts Bill and me and anybody else who happens to be in the studio in our places at any given time. And may I present my morning partner, Wendy Weiss. Wendy, come on out here. Don't sit down. You can eat your chicken later. I need you out here. Now, we have a little... You don't understand, but the directors of the Highland Sesquicentennial have got a little plan for you, Wendy. Just a little something. I would like to also, while I have the moment, introduce, just back from 3 years in Germany, my daughter Sandy, our daughter Sandy, and our granddaughter Stacy. They've just come back from the assignment in Zweibrücken. Our son-in-law Glenn is a major in the Air Force. He's going to school in Denver. They're all going to leave here in about 3 weeks and move over to Dover, Delaware, and they all admit freely that they'd like to go back to Germany. And I tell you the truth, we had met a couple of German and Swiss people here tonight, a couple from Cersei, and they really did the job as far as helping us do the translation. So, I think we got them all. Anybody I've missed?
No, I think that's everybody, but I need to say thank you to everybody in Highland and the surrounding area because, gee, you've made us feel so welcome, and I really thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah, I think that goes for all of us. I must also tell you, if I didn't feel welcome, there's no way in God's world you'd have gotten me into these damn things. I have just found out that when you reach in your pocket, if you miss the pocket, well, you know what I mean. And if you want change, Rita Ann, look in your own purse. Stay out of my pants. Anyway, Wendy, we have a little something special for you. Biddy, Wendy is here and ready to do whatever it is you got for her to do. Honey, I think you're going to have to jump off. No, I think, okay, there's a, there you go. Atta girl. We had a couple of Alpine horn blowers on the air this morning as part of the magazine, and they did a beautiful job, and I hope to get a chance to see them, and I hope you get to hear them tonight. We also had the crew from the directors over here stop by Grant Morton's show. I think it was yesterday or yesterday, I guess it was. And it was there that we decided that it might be a good idea for Wendy to add a little something special by showing her ability with the old historic Swiss bicycle. All right, so let's see. I got Ed Gerling on one side of you, and I got Kerry Wooder on the other side of you. You want to show her what she has to do? First of all, they're not going to let you go. You got to...
They just said, don't worry, we're not going to turn you loose. I said, I know you won't.
Okay. You got to put your left foot on there, and jump up. Come on now.
Is this why you guys had me take out that life insurance policy?
Well, that's part of it. We got something else for you to do later after this. Your left foot, dear. Left foot. Left is over here, right is over here. Atta girl. Okay. All together now. Could you all give her a little help? 1, 2, 3. Wait a minute. Hold on. Now put her over here where I can talk to her, will you? Wait a minute. Wendy, right over here, will you?
Do you all believe in the power of prayer? Everybody, all together. Our Father.
There you go, Annie. Come on.
Yeah, you're going to ride it. Go ahead. Please open your eyes. Okay, fellas, now I can let her go. Well, I'll tell you, you're a game little kid, and will you open your eyes? That's super. Now I want to see you get off. This is the easy part. Careful now. Don't hurt anything. Come on up here, Slats. Hey guys, you did well. See now, I told you, that's all it takes to be a Highlander. You either got to wear these or you got to ride one of those. And you look dumb as all get out in one of these.
I said if there's ever a Wendy Weiss night in Baldwin, you don't know what I'm going to do to this man. A bikini with coconuts. Just because I love you.
You need the coconuts more than I do. Well, now you know what I'm going to get on Monday, don't you? Wendy, thank you very much. One last thing. I've asked my crew in the morning here if they would, because a lot of you people have expressed an interest in meeting them. I've asked them if they'd stand out here at the end of their table and maybe take a few steps at a podium. So if you want to, I'll get Rudy and Wendy and Margie and Eric and Marty and the rest of them up there. I'll put Sandy out there too, our daughter and our granddaughter Stacy. If you guys want to do a little polka, obviously the guys are going to be able to accomplish that for us. One last thing I have to say to you. I first came to know and understand the people of Highland through the Shrine Organization. And the Shrine Organization worked very, very closely with the Knights of Columbus in this town. And for that, we want you to know that those who benefit from all of the various things we do, the KCs, the Shriners, and your support, I want you to know how grateful we really are. We've got a couple of past potentates of Einot Shrine here tonight, and I'd like to introduce them. Don Adams is here from Granite City. Don, where are you? There he is, right there. And from Highland, Wild Bill Bill Hopkins is here. Bill, where are you? There he is. I understand he's been awarded the Medal of Valor for taking care of some dangerous equipment around town. I'm happy to hear that. And I think, is Bill Balky here? Or is he still out cooking? Well, Bill was the grand knight at the time I was most deeply involved with the shrine up here. Anyway, Steve Holt wrote in his column this past week that even if nobody shows up for this Hallelujah party we're having this weekend, the winner is still the city of Highland. Because you people have gotten together, you've shown a combined effort, and you show what can be done when you really decide to do something. This town is more beautiful than it has ever been before, and I hope everybody you've invited and implored to come see it do indeed come. We love your town, folks. Thank you for the night. Have a lot of fun. We're going to get a little polka music going with the KMOX crew. Thank you.
Second item, I can't apologize for the heat I didn't bring in. I thank you for coming tonight because it's important to the 300 or 400 folks who have been putting on this pageant for the last 3 days. They are your neighbors. They are Highlanders. Don't forget that when you watch tonight. Item 3, excuse me. The play is acted by your neighbors. It was written by your neighbors. It was produced and directed by your neighbors. The music came from your neighbors. This is a local, hometown product. I would like to introduce the director, Peck Bellum, my wife. Peggy, please, take one back. Biddy says he's here. He's got a radio. Are we ready to go, Biddy? Everybody in places? Thank you all. Find out just who's the best of the Sesquicentennial, won't we?
Yes, Mr. Shot, we sure will. I've heard that this may be the last Sesquicentennial for a while, and it would be so nice if Rudy were to win.
I just can't wait to see the piece of concert when our Rudy zeroes in on the target. It's something I've been waiting for a whole year.
Now, Holmes, mind your pressure. You know there are lots of fine young men in the competition. They'll all have as good a chance as Ruby. Don't count your bullets before they hit the target.
Here is Holt's shot, his lovely bride Frida. She is known to all, far and wide as mother. Her only child in the life of her life is her son Rudolph. Mr. Schott, as anyone in Highland can tell you, is a second-generation brewmaster of the Schott Brewery. And he and Frida and his son Rudy live in the second big house on the hill. He is known also far and wide. His friends call him Holtz or Herr Schott. His son calls him Papa, and his wife calls him Mr. Schott, Holtzy and Poopsie. These two solid citizens of Fair City are the Watsers.
You know, Louis, the girls are not producing up to their normal standards.
Listen, my pet, you can't really expect them to be too ambitious while the whole town is getting ready for this Sesquicentennial.
Even our little pet Heidi is a bit lightheaded lately, but perhaps you're wondering mine is due to some other cause, like a young man maybe. I remember something your mother said about your starry eyes the summer of our first meeting.
Really, Louis? Somebody will hear you. We were talking about the milk production.
Well, dear, I'm convinced the yearly profits will be just as handsome as they were last year. You must remember you brought the same subject up last year at the same time. Don't worry your pretty little head with such things, pet. I'll take care of the factory just as I always do, and you take care of the housework like women are supposed to.
Yes, dear.
busy. Maybe he'll stop and say a few words. Mr. Pierce, would you like to say something for our Sesquicentennial videotape?
Isn't this nice today?
Oh, hot, but it's great.
Oh, yeah, but that's what it's supposed to be in August.
I know.
Wonderful, wonderful crowd, nice time, and no problems.
Thank you. We're going to go down the Mayor's Walk. They just built this. It had just been a sidewalk before, but now they've rebuilt it. The cost estimate's between $40,000 and $50,000. They're handing out the bags here.
There's the bag, lady.
There's the bag girl.
Come here, tell us your name. Tell us about what you've been doing.
I have been distributing these wonderful bags that the Chamber of Commerce put together, free to all the incoming, visitors to our celebration. They really love them.
So far, 10, 15?
Oh gosh, we stuffed 50,000. I would say we've given away 30 to 40,000 bags.
Great.
Yes. Oh yes, people love them too.
And your name? You didn't give us
Bonnie McGinley.
Thank you. And you're one of the directors of the Sesquicentennial.
That's right. I'm Biddy's VP.
Thank you.
Don't let her get you start to sweat. She wants to go to the air conditioner. Talking about sweat?
Hi, Beth. Hello, Jim. Hi, Norm.
Enjoying yourself, Beth?
Love it.
Hey, Geiger.
As you can see on the right, they got a lot of the pictures of the mayors, and on the left also. I don't know if Jim's getting those in on the tape. You can't really hear what I'm saying on the microphone.
Some of the past mayors.
Also, too, on my right-hand side is Darwin Weiss, and we're going to get him to say a couple of words on the tape. He's the owner of the Win You radio station. Darwin, tell us what you think about the Sesquicentennial.
The Sesquicentennial is turning out to be the greatest celebration that's ever hit the Midwest.
I'll agree with you there. This has been great, isn't it?
Been fantastic, and we have to thank all the people from the entire area for coming out and enjoying the Highland Sesquicentennial.
Thanks, Darwin. Appreciate it. I think we'll have to stop here and to have a little talk with the town choir and Jane Luber.
Yes, the old town crier is still here, still ringing his bell, getting his licks in about Mr. Louis Lotzer.
Good.
Thank you.
What's going on right now?
Well, I really don't know. I'm headed home for the swimming pool.
Oh, you lucky.
Yes.
Thank you.
If you want to join me, come ahead.
I wish I could, but there's things to be done. A lot of people here. Also, too, on his left-hand side is Jane Luber. They own the Gwinnett Airport.
Highland Gwinnett Airport.
Highland Gwinnett. Yesterday, they went up in the airplanes, and Jane's husband was the one that owns the airplane. Well, they own it together.
I went up in the airplane. The balloons went up.
You went up also?
No, I said the balloons took off, but I did go up in the airplane. After they told me, my husband says, stay at home and watch the airport. So I stayed there.
Curiosity.
Right, and here comes one of the fellows out, and he got his airplane out, and he said, I'm going to see if they took off. And I said, good. And he said, if I come back towards the house and stop, come running out. He hollered out the window. He said, Jane, they're all 7 are up. So I went out, and got in the airplane, and we took off, and we circled and circled. It was the most beautiful sight I've ever seen. It's really nice.
Good, thanks.
Thank you.
And we got back in time that my husband didn't even know I was gone.
Well, everybody in the capsule will know about that. Huh? He doesn't know.
He doesn't know yet.
Oh, yes, I told him, I said, well, you had me back here. I didn't see a thing, and he says,
You lose about 10 pounds.
and I said, do you really want to know what I saw? And he says, what? And I said, well, Gary and I was up. We were circling. He said, I saw another airplane there.
Okay, thank you.
That was us.
Thanks, Jane. I think we'll be done after the fireworks. Oh, the fireworks? Uh-huh. Do we want to stop at the memorabilia booth? On our left-hand side is the memorabilia booth, and they've been working away like...
Let's go in and do an interview.
We'll go in and do an interview. Okay.
Those are really big deal.
Come here. We want to do a little thing.
Oh, no, I don't like to do that. Yes, she does. She's right here.
You're like I am. Somebody has to do it, though. Okay, you guys. We're at the... Are you on? Yep. We're at the Sesquicentennial memorabilia booth.
And these are some of the people that are in charge of it, and I would like to know, give me an idea of what's all selling the most. Okay, names? Norma Rinder.
Elaine Iberg.
Lee Render.
Kathy Belangi.
And me, of course. But what sells the most? What does everybody want?
Oh, everything.
Shirts.
Shirts. We've been out of shirts. We got a delivery of shirts every day, and we're out of them again.
Are these type of shirts?
Yes. That type.
Polo shirt, T-shirt, any kind of shirt they can get.
Fountain one with the fountain on.
How's the little pin
Hey, get that down and show that fountain
Great.
shirt on here.
Great.
We had beer steins, we had beer mugs.
Alpine hats.
Give me one of those.
Newspapers, pins.
Beer hall mug.
No, the other.
Aprons,
Got the glass
frisbees.
steins.
Glass steins. The beer when it's
A lot of
cold.
people been drinking beer with them.
Oh yeah, also too.
Glass plates are gone. All the garters. We're just out of everything. Hold it.
I would say everything's been a good success.
It's been great. It really has.
It's been a big success. I mean, we're out of every kind of shirt, including one for dolls or dogs.
Isn't that cute?
We have, I guess most left now is just the odds and ends garters.
How's our pet cookbooks coming along?
Oh, they're great.
Going wonderful.
This is going to be the hottest thing for Highland.
This is the new one.
Oh, that's pretty.
This is the new one.
It's got the fountain.
The new design.
We just brought it out today. We've had it, but we just brought it out today.
Everything has gone really, really well.
How about the beach towels?
They're going relatively well. The group that did the beach party was in charge of making the beach towels, and they've gone relatively well. So,
Just to give you an idea, how many shirts did you have? Lee,
how many thousands of shirts have we had sold? How many shirts have we had? Oh, and our sun
I
catchers.
can't tell you exactly. A couple thousand, probably 3,000 shirts.
3,000 shirts. And how much?
Polo shirts you talking about?
How much did they sell for?
The polo shirts and golf shirts sold for $18, and the t-shirts sold for $5.50. And we're out. We have the sun catchers. They're a hot item. They were $6. Hang them in your window or use them for Christmas ornaments.
Got it?
Got it. Great.
Okay. Been talking to people. Oh. Are you on?
How you enjoying yourself? Great. Good. Sell.
On the left next week is the Kirkenfest. That's put on by our St. Paul Church. As you can see, a lot of people are buying tickets over there. Hi. Hi, Mo. That's Mo Fry.
Now swing to the left a little.
We're going to turn left here and go past a lot of the concessions. They have a lot of good things here to eat. Food is great.
Hey, there's the news.
Hi, and there's some of our youth of Highland, I would think. Dig those groovy jams. Hi.
Fresh fruit. That looks good. Fresh
Oh
fruit.
boy, and does that look good? Can I stop and get a lemon shake?
Bashful hot dog sellers.
Hold the mic. I'm getting a lemon shake.
No.
Oh, okay.
Having a good time under there.
Oh, that's what it is.
You guys taking movies here?
Lemonade.
Looks like you're drinking a nice, cool, refreshing Busch, huh? There's some young fairgoers right here.
Start and get one.
Captain Video.
Everybody enjoying themselves?
Everybody having a great time.
Nice and comfortable sitting there.
Beautiful time.
Howdy, everybody.
Hello.
You enjoying yourself?
You look like it.
Were you folks at the Centennial? Did any of you come to our Highland Centennial?
100-year one? What'd you get it for?
That looks like a good, refreshing snow cone.
How you doing?
Yeah, so we're returning home to our...
Oh, and what went on here? Excuse me.
Get a little, stop and get some for these guys. Now.
Here's Jim Raybecker, a director. How's things going, Jim?
Oh, wonderful. We're just about ready to wind it up with a great weekend. Always remember it.
Good, great. How about you, Jerry?
Just finished up the Civil War reenactment. Outstanding performance. Even the people in the reenactment were quite impressed with the turnout, organization, the friendliness of the people here in the Highland and the people running the stands. Hope we can make it an annual event.
I only found one thing I didn't like about the Sesquicentennial. Do you know what that is?
Noisy.
No, these little bugs.
Let's get this gentleman right here. He's part of the reenactment here.
Oh, yeah.
Get this man there. Put it on for us.
Bob Tolbert. He's got his glasses yet.
Let me get. Nope, I'll do it without him.
Did we win or lose? Always win.
We done it about Pea Ridge, Arkansas, which the Union won, but we got a good shot at them. It took them a long time. It's been a year in the planning. I want to give special credit to these two men. They done a good job. Without them, we couldn't have done it. If they want to have another one, all they got to do is give us a holler and we'll be back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jerry, tell them about John Gottner carrying the Swiss Regiment flag.
Did you tape the performance today at the day it put on?
Yes.
The man carrying the Swiss flag was a Highland man. In fact, he was one of our corporate people out there in the reenactment, in the actual battlefield. So we did have a Highland man representing an actual Highland man carrying the Swiss flag in the Civil War era.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we're off. What's that for? Just video some questions real quick.
Come here, Benny. You love microphones by now.
Yeah, I've been on a few. How you doing?
Good. How's everything been going?
Oh, super. You know that. Heck, you've been here. You've seen all the good stuff.
We just came through the crowd, and everybody's having a good time. They're waving and
Yeah.
enjoying themselves.
It was an interesting thing that I was up there talking with some of the crafts people as they were coming in, and they were telling me that the atmosphere, the excitement of everybody that's coming out here and in town, they said is extremely unusual for something, especially at the first time. And even they really hadn't seen this much enthusiasm or excitement or anticipation for a long, long time since they started the VP Fair. So, yeah, so it's really super.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Price, President of Sesquicentennial Committee. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sit over here.
Here at, is it on? We're here at the communications booth, which is located in front of the Lindendale Park, which is presently our beer garden. Inside, you'll find the communications booth is a very busy place, a lot of action here. This is where everyone checks in to find out what's going on. And over here is
Kathy
S. and Price. And Kathy, what are they doing here exactly?
Well, we are taking messages and giving lots of information and misinformation, and moving cars and telling everyone where the various activities are going on.
Good. And this is Ann Hunsdorfer, and she is one of our directors. And I've seen Ann almost everywhere. and now this is where she's at today. These people are very busy. The communications booth is where you're going to find most of the people that are busy taking care of the celebration. It's been going well, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. The most active is people getting lost.
Really?
We've had one that was lost for 3 hours, and if after that long time, we sent them out to the police station. We can't, but that was the biggest thing so far, and moving cars for the Clydesdales. So I said that it's been fun. And we're full of bugs in here too, so it's not.
That was one of my complaints. It's the only thing I didn't like about the Sesquicentennial was our little bugs. And they seem to be coming from some tree.
I think somebody
Highland
can.
Sesquicentennial bugs.
That's right. They're 150 years
Yeah,
old.
maybe we can pick them up and sell those.
Would you please put these in the time capsule?
Yes.
It's been fun. Hope everybody's had a good time.
Oh, God, it looks like it. The place has been packed. So. Thanks.
Okay.
The time capsule tape, we'd like to get you on tape and maybe say a few words about our Sesquicentennial.
It's great. It's awful hot, but it's great.
Oh, I know it is hot. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Mary Helligy.
And this is the booth for?
This is the Historical Society booth at the Sesquicentennial, and we're selling all of the various books on the Highland heritage, the pet milk cookbooks, and the Sesquicentennial cookbook put out by the Historical Society.
What's the most popular item people are
The
asking?
pet milk cookbook is the most popular item. It's selling for $1, which is a fantastic price.
And of course, everybody wants to know.
Yes.
And your name?
Nancy Reiki.
And Nancy, you belong to the Highland Historical Society?
Yes, I do.
And then they're taking care of this too.
That's right.
And then, I think we're downstairs in the Lindenfeld Park.
In the expo building.
In the expo.
Okay, this is a display of the history of the milk industry in Highland. We have the Highland Milk Condensing Company, a few bottles and crates from pet milk, and then the Reichert Dairy bottle display.
Okay, and then we'll go on to the next one. These look like a bunch of, look at it here. Go ahead.
Okay, these are pictures, reproductions off of postcards and pictures that have been found around town. These pictures originally came from Gano's store. They've been bought by a private collector in town, and they just depict some of the historic sites in town.
What's going on here?
This, oh, okay.
Do a little bit more.
Okay, Mike Vagley has been taking pictures in historic clothing periods from the 1700s on up. And then he has the pictures with the brown tone on them to look old. One of the original shields from the Centennial. The original shields had both the Swiss flag and the American flag. And this is our Sesquicentennial shield, the 150-year shield. And then the display case has memorabilia items from the Centennial.
Will they be auctioning these Centennial ones off?
No,
Or do they belong to
the Centennial are private collections. But the Sesquicentennial ones will be auctioned off. This is along here we have memorabilia.
That should be in bed going,
Okay, we're here at Highland Winnet Airport today, and today is Sunday, August 15th, the third day of the Highland Sesquicentennial. Our official videographer and photographer, Randy Riggs and Jim Geiger, getting ready to take off in this airplane, and they're going to go take some of the pictures over the Sesquicentennial. And
Look in the camera.
yeah, and their pilot is Will
Andes.
Andes.
Right.
And he'll tell you a little bit about the plane and what he's going to do to these two guys.
Okay, we'll leave Highland Winnet here in a 1953 Piper Pacer, and we'll go to Park and hopefully see the balloons launch.
Notice the door is open. Jim is going to hang himself out and take some pictures for us. Okay, I guess we're ready for takeoff.
Come on. My mom, my dad. Okay, so you're going to get us coming by.
Right, I'm going to catch it going by. No, I still got it running. I guess we're ready for flight here. Let me pull this out of here.
I still say that.
Next group we got is the 7th Tennessee, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel John Forrest from Terre Haute, Indiana.
Ballroom committee first. So I'd like to start out by introducing our chairman, Lynn Holler. And Lynn, would you come forward? And along with that, she roped in her husband, Terry. Terry, you still with her? Yeah, they're not divorced yet. Jim and Ruth Rusak. John and Dolores Hester. Barb and Larry Gunsenberger. Don and Jean Astringer. Art and Gail Brunhart. And my wife, Betty Eilers, and my name is Dick Eilers. As a committee, we were in charge of not only getting the entertainment here for the evenings and the afternoons on Saturday and Sunday, but also to arrange the decorations. We've been working at it very hard for months. We appreciate you coming out. Right now, we'll go ahead with our judging on our costumes. Again, the judges are Elaine Stratton, Kathy Belangi, Arnold Driesmeyer, Pat Steiner. Would they please come forward? Now, they made me an announcement earlier this evening. They said that as a rule, they cannot be bought, but to go ahead and make them an offer. So any of you folks who want to join in on this contest, please come forward. We're going to have 3 categories on our judging tonight, and it's based on eras around our Highland heritage. The first era is 1837 to 1840. Now, these are the founding years of our community, and we're looking for costumes of that age. The second is the 1861 to 1865. That, of course, is the Civil War era, which is very important in our heritage also. The last period is 1880 to 1883. This is the time when most of the city was finally settled and that our roots had then begun and were really strong. So these are the 3 ages that we were most interested in the way of costumes. Give prizes first, second, and third in each one of those categories. Right now we're looking for 1837 to 1840. If anyone else would like to join in that era, please come forward by the bandstand. Our first place goes to the young lady that was out here first, all dressed in black. She's standing over to the right of the bandstand, or the left of it. She can come forward. First place went to Cheryl Porter. She won $100. And we're sorry to say no one else gets the rest. The committee gets to split it amongst us. No, second place goes to this lovely couple straight out from me, the young lady in the blue dress and the ugly character next to her.
You better if it takes so long.
Second place goes to Keith and Lynn Horn. Congratulations. Third place goes to the couple that forgot to bring the cow but brought the cowbell. They were standing to their left. If they would come forward, please. Thank you, contestants. We're now ready for our second era, which would be the 1861 to 1865. If anyone interested in that category would come forward. After careful deliberation and checking the funds that they've received, they have made a decision. And first place goes to this lovely couple here. They would come forward. That's Karen and John Isley. Second place goes to this Confederate officer. He's supposed to be back at the post, but he decided to come in and party tonight. Second place was Todd Brooks. Third place, if we can have a drum roll, the suspense is killing us. Third place goes to the Big Lions. Ladies, will you please turn around? First place, $100 and the coveted blue ribbon goes to Mrs. Ruth Russo. Second place goes to that lovely Southern belle, Dolores Hester. And third place goes to those California girls, the surfers.
Officers and directors, I'd like to welcome you to the dedication of the Sesquicentennial Time Capsule. This is a Wilbert burial vault that's going to be interred here in the next several weeks as soon as we have all the materials that have documented what has transpired this past weekend. And it's going to be dedicated today and noted to be disinterred in 100 years. And at the front of the time capsule, there's a monument or a stone that says Sesquicentennial Time Capsule, buried August 15th, 1987, to be opened in 2087 for the Sesquicentennial for the city of Highland. We want to welcome everyone here. The president of the Sesquicentennial Association is sitting here underneath a shade tree, relaxing a little bit, Larry Essenprice. Larry waved to everybody. We have a number of the officers and directors of the association, and you'll be able to notice them. They have a large rectangular badge that they're wearing. Thank you all for attending. We want to recognize the people that did special things to help make this particular event for the Sesquicentennial a success. First of all, we'd like to thank the New Baden St. Louis Wilbert Vault franchise. Mr. Rick Reichel is sitting over here. Rick, stand up. Give Rick a big hand. Rick, on behalf of his company, is donating this Venetian burial vault for our use. It's a high-impact, plastic-lined, concrete-reinforced burial vault, guaranteed to keep all the contents safe and dry. As I indicated earlier, at the head of the burial vault is a monument or a tombstone or a plaque indicating the use of the time capsule. It was donated by the Lager Monument Company from Breeze, Illinois. Jerry Lager and his mother, Mrs. Mary Lager, are seated over there. Mary, stand up so everybody can see you. I want to thank them for their donation. In addition, the Helvetia Sharpshooter Society has donated the space here in Lindendale Park. The time capsule is going to be interred in this exact spot in a couple of weeks, as I said, but right now we've got it sitting above the exact spot where it's going to be buried. The sharpshooters have given us this space, and we're sure that 100 years from now, Lindendale Park will still be here, and it'll be able to be disinterred. And lastly, we want to thank the city of Highland, because the city of Highland is donating the labor to dig the hole, to put the time capsule in, and to mark the spot. To give you an idea, some people asked me earlier in the year what a time capsule was, and we have a number of different items that have been placed in the time capsule. Let me give you an example of what we have. This is the Highland history book, 1937 to 1887. You that don't have a copy, I'm sorry, they're sold out. It's a limited edition book. This book will be interred in the time capsule. Everything I show you is going to be wrapped in plastic, shrink wrap, so it's individually preserved. The Highland Business and Professional Women's Club gave us a copy of their game that they developed for the Sesquicentennial, as well as a booklet of their minutes and some copies of some of the projects that they ran. A number of different industries in Highland have given us examples of their payroll, of their employment rosters. Beeline Company in Highland has given us some samples of some of their products. This is a slotted angle, zinc-plated Duragreen. And we have another with something else that they've donated. The VFW, Veterans of Foreign Honor, have compiled a whole pamphlet of things about their organization. And this will be, as I said, shrink-wrapped. One of the neatest things about the Sesquicentennial was what the school children did. And I wish I had time to share with you all the different things that the school children have written about. This particular pamphlet is called Days of Our Lives, and it talks about what a typical fourth grader did in 1987. I have another one that tells about the attire of a typical sixth grader in 1987, from high-top tennis shoes that aren't tied to jams, to T-shirts, to rock T-shirts. Highly amusing. One of the rewards that the sixth grade class got for writing essays was to have the winning essays, they had their pictures taken. This is a picture of the people who wrote the essays that are going to be interred in the time capsule. We have some videotapes of the community of Highland. This is a videotape that's going to be marketed here in Highland in the next several weeks. We don't know if they're going to have videotape machines in 100 years, but this is a videotape that shows all of the buildings, the whole community of Highland as it is this date. The local Lions Club, they have a tradition of giving out buttons, and here's a whole collection of their Sesquicentennial buttons mounted on a big L. The ribbons over here from the ribbon cutting ceremony that opened the Sesquicentennial, they're a little bit wet, they're a little bit damp. If you were here Thursday night, you can appreciate that. This is a box of things brought by the city of Highland. We have everything from a city workman's hat, copies of electrical bills, maps of the city of Highland, police officer's uniform. It's unbelievable the things that have been brought forward. In addition, in my office, I have literally boxes more of things that will go into the time capsule. Everything from a pair of jellies, the plastic shoes that you girls all wear today, to essays and booklets. Thank you. I was going to call for things from the crowd, but we can start with this. This is there was a Sesquicentennial beach volleyball tournament held earlier this summer, and this is a trophy that was awarded to the winning first place team. The name of the team was the Party Animals, and Kim and Kathy Conrad, Dick and Betty Eilers, Steve and Terry Holt, Jim and Sari Kaddish, and George and Monica Payne. They're donating their winning plaque for the Sesquicentennial time capsule. Thank you. In addition, I'd like to call for anybody else that has items that they'd like to put in the time capsule to please come forward. Any individual's got something? Somebody's got a beer mug? What do you got?
Well, I'm a glass engraver, and I use diamond engraving tools to carve the horn players from Switzerland on this mug. It's got Highland Sesquicentennial on the date, and I figured this will last 100 years.
Thank you. Anybody else have anything they'd like to bring forward? I know the Sesquicentennial Committee as a token is going to bring forward a picture. Eileen?
The race down at Fairmount. That was last Saturday, and there's also going to be other items after the event is over with.
Thank you. A picture of the Sesquicentennial horse race held at Fairmount Park last Saturday night. And the Sesquicentennial Association has got hundreds of other things. We're going to have a lot of examples of the various memorabilia that have been generated. Jim Geiger.
I have some tapes here of all the events that we've been taping for the past year, and also the events that have been going on in the last 3 days, and tomorrow will be put into a time capsule.
Thank you, Jim. Anybody else? Chamber of Commerce is supposed to have a big box of things. I don't know where they're at, if they're here or not. Here comes the Chamber's secretary.
The Chamber of Commerce, as you know, is giving out these bags for all the visitors' convenience. This will be full of memorabilia, maps, all the brochures that are currently available on Highland, and anything else I can think of.
Thank you, Peg. Anybody else have anything? If not, I'd like to dedicate this time capsule to the people of the community of Highland, to our ancestors, and to the people that will be surviving us, our forebears. Thank you all for your attendance. We appreciate your participation.
Tune here on the original Tyrolian cowbells, also recorded in our tapes, the sound from the song La Montanara from the northern part of Italy, the song from the Dolomites. With a beautiful tune, the Rittiman, the third team. Ladies and gentlemen, set on the ticker, also recorded on his albums and tapes, the third team, the Rittiman. Ouch. Ladies and gentlemen, we will set on the third man team, but sorry, it's just a string broke, so, well. I still didn't pluck this other one. Ladies and gentlemen, go on, a nice round of applause for Seth. The third man team and the broken string. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special tune here for you on the original Swiss Alphorn. A nice tune called The Echo of the Swiss Mountains, and also a beautiful special tune for you. A surprise, a lot of people know it. If the people didn't run here before, enjoy yourself with a special tune and hang on to it. To all of you, the original Swiss Alphorn. Tyrolean mountain miners dance. And as I'm going to tell you the story about years ago, there was no machines. In California, you had the gold rush. In Austria and Europe, we had our treasure in our mountains, and the people had to dig it out by their hand. And in Europe, in Austria and Bavaria, we do with this working, making out the dance, and that's what we're going to make music with our tools. And what we do here right now, called this the original Tyrolean mountain miners dance. And we're going to go all the way back to the original way because we have our own power supply. We're going to turn off all the lights because we have our oil lanterns, hammer, chisels, and all the way into the mountain. But folks, I tell you right now, once you're in a mountain, you never know what kind of danger is involved. So be careful, have a good time. Don't please turn off all the lights. You can make it dark as possible and have a good time. The original Tiroler Bergknappentanz, the Tyrolean mountain miners dance. Turn them all off. At the stage 2, thank you.
Get the cord. Get the cord. That's good.
We're going to have a hot time this morning. We got good preaching, beautiful music. Wasn't that gorgeous? Sends chills up your spine. My name is Craig Weber. I'm pastor of First Baptist, president of the Highland Ministerial Alliance. On behalf of the Alliance and the Highland Council of Churches, I'd like to welcome you to this worship service, Sesquicentennial worship service. As Biddy Price came to me about a year ago, roughly, and asked if we would have a worship service on Sunday morning, non-denominational or interdenominational. I suppose so. First thing a president does, and one of the privileges of being a president, is being able to delegate. So, Leonard, would you please stand? Leonard Pye is our chairman, and he's put this program together. Would you give him a hand? Leonard Pye, Community Church, Highland Community Church. I think, without much more ado, I'll turn it over to Don Reeser.
Wir wollen zusammen beten. Will you bow together with me for prayer? Be joyful in the Lord, all ye lands. Serve the Lord with gladness, and come before his presence with a song. As we come to worship, O Lord, our Lord, we pray together that we may find a blessing, that we may be a blessing. We thank you for your presence. We thank you for your power. We thank you for the joy that we know is here in the Lord. We pray together that you will bless as we meet together in Jesus' name. Amen.
I think Pastor Craig Weber was right. When our secretary wrote this in, the first statement says, a very warm welcome to each of you. And it is that. We promised you that for sure. Let's sing together. That kind of lightens us up a bit. You have your little insert there. We're going to sing both of these songs. One of them, as you'll see down in your bulletin a little later on, was printed so that you can follow along when the choir sings only. But now we get to sing together. A mighty fortress is our God. Let's sing as unto the Lord. May we stand together, please?
still till you hit me.
Walt Johnson.
Okay, take her off.
Tony Chicover. Willard Cordy.
Okay, get away. What's this category here?
They're the same ones you are You don't have to be as close as the picture. Okay, this is Richard Hammer. How long have you been growing your beard?
Since January the 10th, I guess, on the...
Oh, that's when they started, wasn't it? January 10th.
It's a little cooler then, I guess.
Joseph Jacober or Tony.
They have a little view of your left side. There you go.
Tame it up now. Now we know what we're doing, right? Jordan Payne, and he started growing his beard on January 10th also.
January, it was nice and cool then.
January, yes, it felt great then. Where did it all go?
I'm almost done, and you can have a bunch of them.
This gentleman's name here?
And your name?
Charlie Spaguzza.
Better than me saying it, right?
Sure.
And when did you start your beard?
I believe the middle of January.
January. It seemed like everybody started in January.
Well, I had to when I had the picture straight.
Right, everyone had to start on the same day.
That's a cool
Check,
date,
get
too.
his hat
Sure.
on there, too, Jim. That's a neat hat.
You liked it, huh?
Yeah, that's really nice. Am I close enough for you? And your name, sir?
Anthony Fry.
Have you always lived in Highland?
Yes.
All your life?
Yeah.
Good. So then we have a, what is it called when you live someplace all your life? Native. A native of Highland, I think. And your name, sir?
Joe Klosterman.
Joe Klosterman. Boy, it looks like you got about the longest one I've seen.
And he's the tallest guy. Enjoying yourself at the...
Oh, yes. Having a lot of fun.
And your name?
Don Seifert.
And you are a director on the board, are you not?
Yes, I am.
It's like a very familiar face.
A lot of hard work went into the...
Sure did.
And your name is, sir?
Gary Schoen.
Gary Schoen. Are you from here in Highland?
Yes.
Have you always lived here in Highland?
For the past 15 years.
Past 15 years? Do you like it?
Yeah, I like
Here
it.
to stay?
Yeah, I
Us
think
too.
so.
And your name, sir?
Don Scheimer,
Don Scheimer. And you work at the First National Bank?
First National Bank.
I know, you're a pretty popular person. I see you around a lot. I think everyone knows you.
My name is Vic Head.
And when did you start growing your beard? They said
Started growing my beard about May the 10th.
May the 10th? My, it would have been really long if you would have started in
Surely.
January.
This has some special growing...
I raise chickens.
Oh, okay, that's probably a good one.
And your name, sir?
Jane Lennon-Felser.
Jane Lennon-Felser? And
Jean.
Jean. And it wouldn't be Jane, would it?
No.
And when did you start growing your beard?
On Thanksgiving Day, 1986.
Thanksgiving Day, 1986. And your name, sir?
Paul Kusterman.
Paul
Kusterman.
Kusterman. And when did you start growing your beard?
May 1st.
May 1st? Okay, for a couple of months.
Give me a toss of coffee.
What's the next one? I think I got them all in order so far. Okay, and what's your name, sir?
My name's Lee Render.
And what happened here?
Well, I was trying to think of something different and unique for the Sesquicentennial to draw a little attention, so my girlfriend's sister's a beautician, and she bleached and dyed it.
Did you get the site? It says 1837.
Turn to the right. Turn to the left.
I also have the little Swiss flag in the middle for all the Swiss people.
Very interesting.
It was about a 3.5-hour process.
From the looks of your first picture, you ought to keep this one.
Well, I don't know about that. I believe I'll probably meet the razor tomorrow morning.
Okay, thank you.
Steinman?
Steinman, yes.
Have you lived here in Highland for a long time?
28 years.
Oh, since you're probably born.
Yes.
I don't know about you, but I think it's obvious. Mr. Don Seifert. 1987 Sesquicentennial celebration.
Okay, let's finish those two guys.
Some news for you. Hear ye, the town crier has some news for you. Some of it good, some of it kind of sad, but we're here to tell you the news of the day. This is old Andy Carey, the town crier, 1922. We're here to tell you a little bit of the news of Highland. First, we'll give you the sad news. Yesterday I was telling you about Mrs. Schneider passing away. Well, she's going to be buried this afternoon at 2 o'clock at the home of her daughter, Mrs. Supiger, at 501 Broadway. Now for the good news. Mr. Schwartz and Mrs. Egan are getting married Saturday at St. Paul's Church. The reception will be in the school shortly after the wedding. I will tell you the greater details tomorrow, so listen in again to the town crier. Now we have a little sad news for you again. 1924, remember Louis Lotzer passed away. But then, hey, we have some good news for you today. This is 1987, some good news. Yes, Mr. Louis Lotzer is resurrected from the grave and is here with us today. He's been underground for 63 years, but he's back with us for the Sesquicentennial. So now it gives me great pleasure to introduce Mr. Louis Lotzer.
Thank you. I want to welcome everyone here today to Highland's 150th birthday celebration. Actually, the town isn't a whole lot older than I am. I'm Louis Lotzer, one of the founders of the Pet Milk Company, and I'll be 139 this year. Holding up pretty well, wouldn't you say? Thank you. We first started making evaporated milk here in Highland a little more than 100 years ago. We called ourselves the Helvetia Milk Condensing Company in those days. The pet name came later. Today, evaporated milk may seem a little old-fashioned, but back in 1885, when we first invented it, canned milk was quite a revolution. Fresh milk was hard to come by in those days. Refrigeration was scarce, and it wasn't very practical to keep a cow in the pantry. A lot of people tried to put milk in cans before we did, but they couldn't figure out how to keep it from spoiling without adding a lot of sugar to preserve it. So we raised a lot of eyebrows when we introduced the first pure milk in a can that the world had ever seen, and we did it right here in Highland. Just like a lot of new enterprises, though, we had a bit of a rocky start. A big chunk of our assets were wiped out by the failure of a local bank just 3 months after we started, but we stuck it out. And on June 14th, 1885, with modest fanfare, Highland Evaporated Cream made its debut as the world's first unsweetened evaporated milk. It was quite an elaborate production system back then, with all the pipes and pans and kettles, and it sort of looked like something out of a science fiction novel. It almost looked like it could fly. And on July 8th, it nearly did, when the plant's steam-powered sterilizer exploded with a force that was felt all over town. It took 4 weeks to make the repairs, and we had a lot of farmers wondering what to do with their milk. But when the plant reopened, we had plenty of business. By year's end, our growing little company had 12 employees and a modest profit of $1,400. Not much by today's standards, but it got us on the road. And by the time evaporated milk had hit its peak around 1950, it had become one of the most important food staples in American life. Well, a lot's changed since those early days. The production process for evaporated milk is quite a bit more sophisticated, as you can see from the miniature plant on display behind me. We had only one product back then, but today we have hundreds, and our profits have improved a bit. They'll be up a little bit from the $1,400 we made the first year to about $200 million in 1987. But some things are pretty much the same today as they were when we started out more than 100 years ago. Quality, excellence, leadership, commitment to people, and maybe most important of all, a sense of community. You know, that revolution we called evaporated milk could have started out almost anywhere, but it didn't. It started right here in Highland, Illinois. It took the courage and vision of this little community to bring the idea to life. I lived in and around Highland all my life. I love this community. We were here for the first 36 years of the company's life. I never did leave. I never went to St. Louis with the company when they decided they needed more room to grow. My son sort of took things over at that point, and I stayed here in Highland. But I didn't retire. Even after everyone had gone, I rode my horse to the empty plant almost every morning, worked on my experiments in the lab, wrote circulars to plant managers. This community meant a lot to me. It meant a lot to the world. Today you can see that same spirit here in Highland, the spirit that gave birth to one of the world's most important food products, the spirit that's kept them going for 150 years and keeps making Highland one of the finest communities in America. I thank you very much for being here with us today. I do take great pleasure in introducing the current president of the Pet Milk Company, Mr. Ray Morris. I know it's not often you get the opportunity to meet someone my age and my circumstances. Please accept our offer to pick up some information on the pet milk and its wonderful products. I'd be happy to autograph them for you. And thank you very much once again, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the tour.
Hey, Linda, you got that on? You got that on? Mr. Ray Morris flew in on a helicopter and landed at, what happened this morning? How did he get here this morning?
It's my understanding that Mr. Morris flew in and landed at Ralph Cordy's house. And then Ralph and his wife, Donna, escorted him out here to the grounds. And the entire day has been dedicated to pet milk. They've been having taste samples all over the grounds. The queens have been letting people try different things that have been made by pet milk. Judy Ernst of the House of Plenty has made many of her favorite pastries, her grandmother's recipes, and they are out on the grounds letting people taste those. And now people are going through and touring the pet milk miniature plant, and they're getting autographs from the actor Jody Owen.
Great, thanks.
I'm surprised we had such a turnout of autographs.
Yeah?
I figured too hot for anything else.
Yeah,
Do this.
yeah.
And I think Sundays are great for this kind of thing.
Yeah.
You ready? Hi, this is Linda Kleinhofer, and I'm here with Clint McCaslin, who has rebuilt the pet milk display. He's going to tell us a little bit about it. This display was donated to Highland Sesquicentennial by Pet Milk. It's a miniature operating plant. It's been in the 1906 World Fair, and it was built by someone in Greenville when they were over 100 years ago, I think.
No, it was 1941.
1941. Clint, what can you tell us about how this works?
Well, first of all, I guess you would want to take it from the beginning. Your farmer has his milk hauled into the plant in these 8 and 10 gallon cans, whatever, and it's unloaded here and run from the truck into the receiving room. And it's dumped out of the can, as you can see, into this weigher. It's weighed here and tabulated. Before it's weighed, the people take tests of it. And this is how your farmers used to get to know whether their milk was dirty or whether it was sour or whatever. And these people tabulated and sent these farmers. And they had a field man, which is one of these people here. And he would go out to the farmer and say, well, this is what's wrong with your milk, and this is probably what's happening, and you're going to have to do this to get it renovated. Okay, the cans go through this oven here. It's washed and dried, and then sent back to the truck, go back to the farmer. Here, it takes us pipes, pumps, washers, everything, in order to transport the milk from the beginning into the processing area. And we have a sterilizer here that you put the pipe in after it's washed to be sure all the germs is out of the pipe before you put it back together. The milk then is taken into the tanks here, this being a 4-warmer tank, which warms the milk before it goes into the evaporator. You can't seemingly run cold milk into the evaporator. You have to have it warm. Now, this is a condensing unit that actually takes water out of the milk and makes it a concentrated solution, which is approximately 50% of what it was to begin with. It's pumped out of here, and it is checked here with a microscope to see what the curd tension is of the milk before it goes into the homogenizer. The homogenizer is a large reciprocating pump which takes the milk through a valve at about 2,000 pounds per square inch. This breaks up the milk, the fat globules, so that it will not separate after that. This scope over here is what we check the milk with after it has went through the pump. This is what tells us how good we're doing it here. Then the milk goes into the holding tanks here. Vitamin D is imparted to the milk through a carbon arc, and then it is pumped from there into the cooling apparatus. That's what this is here. It's pumped from there over here into the filling apparatus, and these fillers are all practically the same thing, and they all work on the same principle. The cans are shunted into the machine, and then they're taken out after they're filled, and then this is a sealer. It seals the little fill hole that's in the top of the can. Goes through the checker here, and he looks at it. This is usually a water bath, and this will tell you if the can leaks by the bubbles coming from it. About all you can check in that particular case there. It goes up over this head, goes into these sterilizers. After the can is sealed over here, then it is brought to evaporating temperature or sterilizing temperature, which gets all the germs out of the can in its closed position, so that the container sterilizes the milk inside, and it is shut off from outside atmosphere so that no germs can get into it till it's opened again. That goes over here, and we use this for storage. Sometimes we have to hold milk a little while after we can it to see what the shelf life is going to be. See if we get a problem with any kind of germs entering, so we know that this is all still working right. Goes through the weight checker here, which kicks out your cans here if you are over or under or something like that. Then it goes from here into the labeler. Labels are put on, and then it goes into the boxing thing that goes over there, it boxes and ships it out to the car and then to the customer.
Clint, this is the process that they use today.
Very much so.
Right.
Very much so.
Why do I get the feeling that you love this company?
Well, I don't know. I guess I do.
Swiss chalet dollhouse. It's the next thing you're going to buy. All right. Wouldn't that look pretty? Little doll furniture for that little girl. Or for that big girl, as the case may be. All right, who's starting out? Who'll give me $100 bid? Who'll give me $100 bid? $100 bid. Give me $100 bid now, 125. I got a $100 bid now, 125. Give me 125, 125. Anywhere got a $100 bid now, 125. $100 bid now, 125, 125. Give me 125, 125, 125. $100 bid now, 125. $100 bid now, 125. Give me 125. That's too easy, man. $100 bid now, 5. I got a $100 bid now, 105. I got a $100 bid now, 105, now 110. 105 is a bid now, 110. 105 is a bid now, 110. Give me 110, 110. I got a 105 now, 110. $105 bid is a bid now, 110. I got a $105 bid now, 110, 110, 110 anywhere. 105 is a bid now, 110. 105 is a bid now, 110 anywhere. Give me 110, 110. Who will give me 110 for this beautiful dollhouse here? I got a 105 bid, I want 110. I got a 105 bid now, 110. Give me 110 anywhere, 110 anywhere, 110 anywhere, 110 anywhere, 110 anywhere. Are you all done? We're going to sell it. Sold up for $105. Number 132. We got to move along. We got a lot of stuff to sell. We're not going to mess around. What are you going to sell now? We're going to sell a quilt.
Tom Hill, the lawyer, purchased.
Let me tell them about it. This quilt was made by the Highland Home, ladies, for the Sesquicentennial. It's a beautiful quilt. Sesquicentennial quilt, red, white, and blue. Red, white, blue, and gold quilt for the Sesquicentennial logo. It has 3 gold rings which stand for 25 years each for the 75th anniversary of the Highland Home and 50 years each for the 150 years for the Highland Sesquicentennial. It was made by the ladies of the Highland Home to help raise money for the Sesquicentennial. And that's the next thing that we're going to sell. Buckle down your hats, here we go. Who's starting out? Give me $500 bid. Who give me $500 bid? 5 anywhere, give me $500 bid. $500 bid, give me $500 bid. Starting out, give me $500 bid. Here, give me $500 bid. 5 anywhere, give me $500 bid. Sean, what it is? Give me $500 bid. Who give me 5432? Give me $200 bid. Starting out, give me 2 anywhere, give me $200 bid. I got 2 now, 2. Give me $300 bid. Give me 3 bid. Give me $300 bid. 3 now 4. $300 bid now 4. Give me $400 bid. 300 is bid now 4. 300 is bid now 4. Give me $400 bid. Give me $400 bid. Give me 3 this. Give me 350. 350 now 4. 350 is a bid now 4. Give me $400 bid. 4 now 4 and a half. 4 is a bid now 450. 4 is a bid now 450. Give me $450. 450 over there. Give me 450. 400 is a bid now 450. 450 now 500. 450 is a bid now $500 bid. Give me $500 now 5 and a half. 5 is a bid now 5 and a half. 500 is a bid now 5 and a half. That's where we should have started. 500 is a bid now 550. 500 is a bid now 550. Who give me 550, 550 anywhere? Give me 550, 550, 550, 550. 500 is a bid now 550. 500 is a bid now 550. It's a one of a kind. You're never going to get another chance. 500 is a bid now 550. 500 is a bid now 550 anywhere. 550 anywhere. 550 anywhere. 550 anywhere. 500 is a bid now 550. 500 is a bid now 550. Are you all done? 500 is a bid now 550. Going once, 500. Going twice, 500. Sold it $500. Number 85. Thank you all. Got some ties. We're going to sell you some ties. All right. All right, here we go. We're going to sell you ties. We got gray ones and we got $50. I got $1,000 bid now, $250 anywhere, $250 anywhere. I got $1,000 bid now, $250. I got $1,000 bid now, $250. Got $1,000 bid now, $1,100. Give me $1,100 bid, $1,100 bid, $1,100 bid. Got $1,000 bid now, $1,100. Got $1,000 bid now, $1,100. Got $1,000 bid now, $1,100. $700 now, $12. $700 is bid now, $500. $1,200 now, $13. Got the $13 over there. 13. Got 12 over here now, 13. Give me 13. $1,300. I got $1,400 now, 15. $1,400 is a bid now, 15. Now 16. 16 is a bid now, 16. 17 is a bid now, 18. Give me 1,800. Give me 1,800 now, 19. 1,800 is a bid now, 1,900. Give me 1,900. 1,800 is a bid now, give me 19. Anywhere, 19. Anywhere, 18 is a bid now, 19. I want $1,900. Got $1,800, 119. I got 1950, now 2,000. I got 1950, now 2,000. Give me 2,100. 2,000 is a bid now, 2,100. Give me $2,100. 21, 21, 21. 2,000 is a bid now, 21. 2,000 is a bid now, 21. Anywhere, give me 21, 21. Who give me $2,100 bid? 2,000 is a bid now, 2,100, 2,100. Give me 2,100, 21 anywhere. Give me 21 anywhere, 21 anywhere, 21 anywhere. 2,000 is a bid now, 2,100. 2,000 is a bid now 2,100. Give me 2,100. 21, 21, now 22. 21 is a bid now 22. Give me $2,200 bid. 2,200, 2,200. That's 21, now 22, now 23. 22 is a bid now 23, now 24. 23 is a bid now 24. Give me $2,400. Give me 24, 24, 24. 23 is a bid now 24. 23 is a bid now 24. Give me $2,400. Give me 24. Yeah, standing off 24, now 25. All right, 25, now 26. I got $2,500 bid. Give me 26 over here. Give me 26. Where's 20 Give me 26, 26, now 27. 26 is the bid now. Give me 27, 27, 27, 27. 26 is the bid now. 27. 26 is the bid now. 27. Give me $2,700. 2,600 is the bid now. 27, 27, now 28. 27 is the bid now. 28. Give me 28 down here. Give me 28, 28. Give me 28, 28. 27 is the bid now. 28. Give me 2,800. Give me 28, 28. Give me 2,800. 27 is a bid now 28, give me 2,800. 27 is a bid now 28. 27 is a bid now 28, give me 28, 28. Give me 28 anywhere, give me 28, 28. 27 is a bid now 28. 27 is a bid now 28, give me $2,800 anywhere, $2,800 anywhere, 2,800, 2,800, 2,800. 27 is a bid now 28, 28, give me 28. 27.50 now 28. 27, 28 now 28 and a half. 28 now 28.50. 28.50 now 29. 28.50 now 29, now 29 and a half. 29 and a half, please give me 29 and a half, 29 and a half, 29 and a half. 3,000 you say, now 3,100. 3,000 and now 3,100. 31.50 now 32. 31.50 now 3,200, give me 32 back there, give me 32 now 33. 32 now 33, give me 33, 33, 32 is a bid. 34.50 is a bid now 35. 34.50 is a bid now 35. That's about what we should have started. Now 35, now 36. 3,500 is a bid now 36. 36.50 now 37. 36.50 now 37. Give me $3,700. 36.50 is a bid now 37. Give me $3,700 bid. 3,700, 37, 37, 37. Give me $3,700. 36.50 is a bid now 37. 4,000 is a bid now 42.50. 4,000 is a bid now 42.50. 4,000 is a bid now 41. 4,000 is a bid now 41 anywhere. Give me $4,100. 41, 41. Give me 41, 41. 4,000 is a bid now 41. 4,000 is a bid now 41. 41. Give me $4,100. 41, 41. 4,000 is a bid now 41. 4,000 is a bid now 41 anywhere. 4,000 is a bid now 41 anywhere. 41 anywhere. I sold it. $4,000. Thank you both, gentlemen. Thank you both. First National Bank of Highland.
I do.
Before we start the drawing here, we'd like to get to our host at the beer garden. We'd like to get Dave Wertz and Tom Otter to come out here front. Jim Geiger from LT Video is filming a lot of the Sesquicentennial events, which will be available sooner or later on a video cassette. Tom and Dave, we need you out here. Oh, Tom, take your towel off. Come on out here. Officially or unofficially, I'm on the next year's Schweitzer Fest committee. And as y'all know, the JCs are defunct in Highland right now. But goddammit, there's going to be a homecoming next year, and we're going to call it the Schweitzer Fest. Somewhere, somehow, some way, we're going to pull it off. Because the community not only needs it, they deserve it. And people like you are what it's all about.
And I really appreciate you guys coming out tonight and the last 4 nights. And Guy Michael, thank you for all you've done. This was your night and I appreciate it. Look at the crowd you drew tonight. Yeah, we'll have it at Michael's next year. Huh? You want to expand your building? I got one left. Ralph, where are you? Up here just for 1 second. Bud, come on up here. I'll tell you what, this city's went through a lot of trouble and hard times, but I'll tell you what, I don't know of a harder worker that's for the benefit of the city of Highland as Bud King. And Bud, would you give this crowd just 3 sentences and that's it?
Love you, Dave. Love you, Tom. Love you, Billy. Love you, Guy. Love everyone that's been involved with this thing. You're superb. You're Highland. Keep Highland, Highland, brave Archie.
Thank you, Bud. Now that everybody's here, earlier we had an acknowledgement, but there wasn't a whole lot of people here. And I want to thank not only just tonight, but people, this man right here has been back in the Sesquicentennial since we started. He performed the music and the performance at the Halloween party, the beach party, tonight, and whatever I can say. And ladies and gentlemen, that is not an easy job. Jim Ronald has taken care of me for more years than I can care to guess because he bowls anchor on my bowling team. And I'll tell you,
Yes, we could. And ladies and gentlemen, let's get him up here. Let's start now. Benny Price, come up here. The president of the Highland Sesquicentennial. Benny's going to get tired of doing this and doing this and doing this, but this is the man. When I had a problem, when Dave had a problem, when Tom had a problem, we yelled for Benny.
Let's draw this number, get back to the music. Okay, let's go. Thank you, everyone. I do thank you very, very much, community. Thank you.
Thank you, Brady. I have one announcement to make. 10 minutes after the drawing, the last shuttle bus will be leaving. And if you need a ride home, there'll be other ways, I'm sure. Paula Redmond, Jean, and my wife Judy, and myself Ken, we'd like to thank everybody for participating in the dream trip. We hope someone wins it that really enjoys it. We're going to have 2 girls, 2 of the Queen candidates, pull out the winner, Candace Wilhofer and Kathy Gunland. They're going to give the ticket to Paula, and she's going to announce the winner and tell you how you can handle the trip. Thank you.
Okay, this is for a dream trip of your choice to Switzerland for 9 days.
them would be down there, right? Hey, Brad.
What?
Let's go back. Grab the recorder and can you pick up everything? Keep walking back. Brad. Keep going, Bradley. Bet. This is about it, huh, Brad?
Yeah. That one lit up halfway.
There you go, Brad. There you go. Okay. Yeah. Good. Put her down. Not too bad. When they get out to the very end, they do. I got it covers the whole screen. Oh, look at that. That was a shot. Pretty far away to get these covered.
Set up down there and stuff.
Yeah, you never know. Getting down there in time.